Hey guys, it's me, Crystal, with Army Wife 101. So, Mondays is all about the Army Wives. I've already posted the question on the Facebook fan page about what was last night's highlight from you from the Army Wives TV series. So, I have to give my version of a recap, right? Let's start off with Trevor and Roxy. Of course, everybody knows Roxy's pregnant. Woohoo! We knew that was going to happen. Of course, last night's episode focused on what I said would happen. The kids were jealous that Roxy was pregnant. They kind of didn't understand why they weren't included on the decision making. And, they had a little scene where Trevor took the kids to, I guess, a T-ball game or T-ball or baseball practice. And he seen another lady with a cute little baby girl there. And he was kind of focusing on the baby girl. And the kids were trying to get his attention, and he didn't notice them. Enter dramatic music. Um, and the little baby girl had some kind of little stuffed animal, and the mother said where she got it from. She happened to get it from that game. I guess they had free stuffed animals. Well, Trevor got one, and he went and showed the kids. Now, mind you, he had Pam's kids and his two kids. They're older. They don't care about stuffed animals. Well, he showed them the stuffed animal. They said, well, who's that for? He said, it's for the new baby. He comes home. He's wanting to show Roxy the stuffed animal. They find it in the garbage. Finn, and I forgot the other one, threw it in the garbage. So basically, they solved the problem by the end of the episode and explained how much they loved them, which I was glad that Trevor insisted to them that just because they're not his kids biologically doesn't mean they're not his kids. And because at first I thought he was kind of not going to focus on that, and that was kind of going to annoy me. But he did, so that was problem solved, at least for that episode. I'm sure there'll be another dramatic insert on next week's episode. Pam and Chase, they did not focus on too much this episode, unless I missed something, and I don't think I did. They didn't focus on. Um, yeah, there's really nothing to say about them. I honestly think Army Wives is trying to figure out where to go. Now, granted, I'll talk about next week's episodes, which involves Pam and Chase, but I'm thinking they're struggling on trying to figure out where to go with that. Let me see. Should I save Claudia for the end? I'll save Claudia. Denise and Frank. Not too much there. Denise really was only on this episode. She kind of comforted Roland about something that happened with him, which I'll get to. And that brings me to Emmeline, which is Claudia Joy and Michael Holden's daughter. Emmeline went to a party. Didn't drink at all, but one of the friends, who's the new girl on post, got drunk, and Emmeline did the responsible thing and brought the girl to the hospital. So enters Denise, because that's who she called first, because remember, and this is something they just got back to focusing on, Denise is an EMT. So she called Mrs. Sherwood, and Mrs. Sherwood met her at the hospital. The girl was okay. Which brings me to the Holdens. Michael was mad. Emmeline got grounded for a month. He pretty much, is still stuck on, he's the whatever brigadier general. And they have a reputation, which is understandable, but she is a teenager. But she didn't do anything. She was responsible. She brought the girl to the hospital. She was mad that the girl was drinking in the first place. And, but Michael was more hurt because, as we all know, Michael and Claudia did lose their first daughter, Amanda. And Emmeline's getting ready to go off to college soon. And I think he's trying to spend time with her, and this is part of where the Army family focus comes in, of realizing, I hope I'm not yelling into the camera, of realizing that, your time is limited as a soldier with your family. So I guess Emmeline had kind of canceled a little father and daughter time they were supposed to have, and that hurt him more, and I think that's what made him more harsh on her during his decision to ground her for a month. That was solved at the end. Now let's get to the juicy tidbit. Claudia Joy. So we all know that biatch, Lenore, what's her name, Baker? You know her. She always finds out something. She gets on my nerves. Her little pinched face. I can't stand her. But anyway, so she happens to find out about the incident with the drinking at the party, and they're all vying for this military something spouse of the year, what I forgot what it's called on there, the Spencer Award. So they're basically walking around for a period of time with the committee, and of course Lenore makes it her business to right in front of the committee say, "Oh, I heard there was an incident with your daughter, something about drinking." And Claudia Joy, her usual reserved self, yes, but it was handled. Claudia Joy. So Lenore said something else. Claudia said, well, basically it's handled, and when you teach your daughter to be responsible, it's not a problem. Fine. I'm trying to think. Did she call Claudia? I'm trying to remember. Well, in any event, Claudia Joy confronted her one time outside the room, and she said, quote, I think, uh, Lenore, a word? Involve my family in your personal grudge against me, and you'll pay. That's not a promise. It's a fact. And Lenora, I beg your pardon. I was so glad when she said that, because Lenora had the stupidest look on her face. But this was the best part. Oh my God. Okay, so now we fast forward. We move to the Spencer Awards. They're about to announce who the award winner is. Now, mind you, if you haven't watched the episode, Lenora the whole time is, trying to make them see that she's the best, spouse, and she's done all this work, and it looks like she might actually have a chance of winning. Well, while they're at the awards, they take a 5-minute intermission, and every award recipient or student to be recipient, hopefully, had on a microphone. So they say you can take a 5-minute break. So Roxy's walking around collecting all the microphones, and she's trying to get Lenore's, and Lenore won't give it to her. She's just talking about that damn Claudia Joy, and blah 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 blah, and she keeps going on. Fast forward to they move to Pam, who's sitting in the little radio booth because I guess they're hosting this for Post, on the radio, and she happens to ask her little radio guy, "How would I put that on?" Because she could hear Roxy and what Lenore was saying in her headphones, and the guy said, "Oh, you would just press this button. I think I'll go take a walk." And sure enough, Pam presses the button, and everybody in the room hears Lenore talking so much crap about Claudia Joy. So Roxy just stood there. Well, Lenore comes back in all reserved and sits on stage and notices how quiet is. Everybody's looking at her. Then she looks down and realizes her microphone is on, and how long has that been on? Oh my God, it was the best. She just looks so stupid. Well, in any event, Claudia Joy wins the Spencer Award, and Lenore, she was mad. And, her and Claudia have one more encounter, and basically she says, "You just have it all, Claudia." But Lenore doesn't get it, and Claudia explained to her, she gave her, "Well, I have it all because I don't expect anything in return, blah, 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 blah." And, Lenore came back at her with, "Well, I'll remember that little tidbit. Maybe I'll have it embroidered on a cup or something like that." And that was it. But I wanted Lenore to get caught. So at the end of the day, it was handled correctly. Woot woot to Pam for doing what she did. So let's see, we covered Denise, Claudia, Roland, and Joan. Joan pretty much focused on the fact Joan is not going to be put back into the actual combat zone. I mean, she'll be in a combat zone, but she won't be actually fighting. She's going to be helping rebuild schools, which she wasn't happy about, but she basically met a soldier, a female, I think lieutenant, who lost her arm and leg, and the female lieutenant told her how she was happy. She was building schools. That was what she was doing before she got hurt, and how if she lost her arm for schools for kids because a lady over there had thanked her, then it was worth it. And that kind of turned Joan's head around, and it was pretty happy-go-lucky from there. So Joan will basically be going back to Iraq. We'll see what happens with that. I feel like there's going to be some problems. As far as Roland goes, remember season 3 ended off with him working with that guy. I forgot the guy's name. The other doctor who was working with him, who winds up taking off and is wanted by the FBI. Well, that guy showed up again last night. Asked Roland for $5,000 for whatever. Roland went and got the money. Didn't want to do it because he knew if that money was tied to him, he'd be in trouble for whatever. We don't even know what the guy is on the run for. But Roland got the money, but called the FBI. So as soon as the guy walked out with the money, the FBI took him. Roland did a good thing, though, because he felt bad because that was his friend, and basically put up half the mortgage proceeds from, I guess, their building they owned together, and put it into like a law fund for the guy so the guy could have the best legal care. So that was that. Next week's episodes focus on Pam and Chase. It's looking like Pam is going to make a big decision. I think you see her at JAG, which I'm not sure JAG even deals with divorces, but that's what it looks like. Once again, one of their glitches. And it looks like she might be filing for divorce, and you see her driving off post crying, but we don't know. It might not even come on next week because they're infamous for putting something saying next week, but it's really the following week, so who knows. But yeah, that's all they showed for next week's episodes. So we'll see what happens. I think I focused on everybody because I know last week I left Denise and Frank out. But anyway, I'm at 9 minutes, and I really hate making my videos even over 5 minutes because I know my attention span is only like 12 seconds long. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this recap. Come back next week for more, and I will see you soon. Bye.